a service.
Looks like you all set. These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare's flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
Happy Friday, folks. If you stand on your tiptoes, you can see the weekend from here. I'm Dan Kuntz. It is the 14th day of July, 2023. As I mentioned, it's Friday. I did. And then we head on into the weekend. And again, thank you to the Gregorian calendar, the folks who figured that all out and said, hey, if we put a Saturday and a Sunday together, we can call it a weekend and get 2 days off. I mean, think about it. What if it was Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday? Nobody'd want that. Good stuff for today. Lots going on. Going to be a warm one today. This is the first of 3 straight, I think we can safely call it hot days. Almost got to 90 yesterday. 89 was the official high on Thursday up at Pangbourne, which was exactly what we predicted. We get it right every once in a while. We're going to be in the 90s for the next 3 days, upper 90s, topping off on Sunday. And when it gets this hot, National Weather Service, well, they start spitting out warnings, and they have done so. We have a hot weekend. A heat advisory goes into effect tomorrow. It's going to last through Sunday, and then that's going to be replaced by a fire weather watch because it's going to get windy, too, and low relative humidity. All of those details that you're going to want to know is coming up. But it's going to be a very hot weekend indeed. We have some news, as we always do. 6 in a row now for the Apple Sox. 6 in a row, 18-1 the final. The local 9 over Nanaimo. Highlights from our good buddies Storm and Joel Norman. The Mariners go back to work. All-Star break is over. Tigers are in town. We'll preview that. And a local bunch of very good high school girls, young girls, going to be heading down to Anaheim to play some basketball. We'd like to spotlight the locals when we can. And speaking of somebody who's just a little bit local, Dave Tosh. My interview with Dave Tosh for the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activities Center will layer in the back half of the program. And at 2 minutes after the hour, we start our tour with the Wenatchee Heights camera because we like consistency around here. For instance, this show is consistently mediocre. And so we have the Wenatchee Heights camera zoomed in just a little bit. It is 68, by the way, in the big city. Yesterday at this time, it was 64, so we've already begun to warm up a little bit. All right, now the warm spot in our viewing area is out in Ephrata. You're at 72 on your way into the mid-90s as well. Good morning to the valley proper. Lake Wenatchee looks spectacular this morning, but don't take my word for it. Look at that. Just beautiful. Of course, Lake Wenatchee is always a good 10 degrees cooler. It's a little bit higher in elevation. You got the water. You got a lot of shade and higher elevation. You combine all those things. If you want to cool off a little bit but still be outside, Lake Wenatchee might be the place to go. And I think they're done with the skeeters by now. You can see the airstrip in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, a little sliver of Fish Lake and almost all of Lake Wenatchee. A spectacular view from Nanapoc Ridge. Hay Canyon gives us a chance to say good morning to Cashmere. Good morning, Cashmere. They're still working, by the way, on that big paving project, but I understand they're making really good progress there. That project needed to be done. Good morning to Cashmere, who used to bill themselves as the early American city of Cashmere. Remember that? That was their moniker, their slogan, if you will. I don't know why they got rid of it. I liked it. I had no problems with it. And let's check up north with our friends in Billy Goat. Look at the sun glaring off the lens there. Alta Lake at the bottom of your screen. The Medhow, the Columbia, Pateros, Brewster, Bridgeport, Omak, Okanagan, Riverside, Pateros, Oroville, and Canada. Good morning up north. Barely a cloud in the sky, and the Omak area has a tendency to be a little bit warmer than the Wenatchee Valley. The heat radiates in the narrower valley, so everybody is in for a hot weekend. In fact, let's take a look at this quick slide from the National Weather Service. They sent us this way. Omak 98 today and 99 near 100. Tomorrow to our friends up north out in the Columbia Basin, pretty much the same deal with Ephrata. So get ready for a hot weekend. We still, in the Wenatchee Valley, have not hit 100 degrees yet this year. We may on Saturday, possibly Sunday. It depends when this cold front comes in, which is expected to come in Sunday night. It's going to cool us off a whole bunch Monday. Big temperature change between Sunday and Monday, but at least Monday will be comfortable. But the trade-off is a fire weather watch, which begins Sunday afternoon, goes through Monday evening. So it is the recipe that the folks don't like. Bone dry conditions. I'm talking relative humidity way down in the teens. It is. I mean, we live in a desert. It's always gets down there pretty good, but it's going to get really low, and the wind will be picking up, and everything is dry and baked out. So even though the weather is going to cool down a little bit, it is going to be breezy on Monday. Monday is going to be a significant cool down, and then we're actually going to warm back up again by Tuesday and Wednesday, and close to 100 again by Thursday. From the National Weather Service, it looks something like this. 94 today, not much of a wind to speak of. No clouds, just sunny and hot. It is, after all, the middle of July. 65 for the overnight low, very mild. 98 on Saturday. It looks to be the hottest day of the week in the forecast period. 67 for the overnight low. Sunday, all day sunny and warm until after sunset on Sunday. Right around 9:30ish or so is when this cold front's going to come in, and look how big the cool down is going to be. From 96 on Sunday all the way down to 83 on Monday, and that is why we have a fire weather watch. And it's going to be quite breezy on Monday. Not windy, we're just going to call it breezy. And then we warm back up again. The cold front will be exiting Tuesday, and that will allow more hot air to come in on Wednesday and Thursday. Hey, it ain't Phoenix. Forecast high in Phoenix today, 117 degrees. But it's a dry heat, like a blowtorch. Going to take a break. When we come back, your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Hit the open roads this summer with Click It RV Superstore in Moses Lake during the Great American Sales Event. The best brands, Grand Design, Flagstaff, Thor, SMC trailers, and more. Over 1,000 RVs. Payments as low as $240 per month. $240 down. 0 payments until 2024. Up to $4,000 over JD Power for your trade-in. Plus, get a Traeger grill and Yeti cooler with purchase during the Great American Sales Event. Now at the Click It RV Superstore in Moses Lake, off I-90 on North Frontage. Hurry in today.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
During the commercial break, we popped up a couple of degrees, 70 now here In the Wenatchee Valley, on our way to mid-90s, upper 90s Saturday and Sunday. Significant cool down with breezy conditions and some fire danger on Monday, spilling into Tuesday. It's 9 minutes after the hour. We start with this story. A Chelan County judge on Wednesday is indicating that he's inclined to throw out a citation from the city of Wenatchee that charged Grace City Church with violating its noise ordinance. The Sunny Slope Evangelical Church has been the subject of noise complaints from neighbors, and the city's attorney's office filed a citation in March of 2022 that could cost the church about $500 if in fact it's upheld. But District Court Judge John Volan agreed with the church's attorney, saying the paperwork on the citation was incomplete and Grace City appears not to have been notified within the legal time limit. Grace City pastors and witnesses came to the court prepared to testify on the matter come Wednesday, but Volan instead continued the hearing to a future date.
Well, I walked in the room just assuming we were just going to we were going to call our first witness and proceed with the hearing today. So the court had no intention of not hearing the case on the merits. The court had no intention of ignoring any witnesses that showed up today. But defense's arguments are, the court can't ignore them today. I'm going to reserve ruling today, and I would like the parties to give me a briefing within 7 days on the issue of any defects on the citation, authority on what the court can and can't do on 2.1 and 2.2. And if there is a reason the court can do anything but to dismiss with prejudice today because of the lack of the citation containing what is required in 2.1b.
You motorists out there who plan on traveling out to what most of us call the Big Y interchange, the Don Sen Memorial Interchange on Highway 2 and Highway 97, you can expect some slowdowns today. This is day number 2 of this project. The Washington State Department of Transportation is conducting resurfacing work on that area, as you see there from our PTZ camera. So if you're going to be heading out there today, plan for single lane closures and slowdowns for westbound traffic. Flagger control traffic with delays for those heading eastbound. The wait time could be up to half an hour during peak travel hours. You were forewarned. This isn't very good. Check out this footage from our PTZ camera. A fire in downtown Wenatchee yesterday sent flames and smoke billowing from a chimney at the establishment we all know as the Rail Station Ale House. At the bottom of, that's on North Columbia Avenue down at the bottom of 1st Street. The fire was reported about 1:30 yesterday afternoon. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department responded with a ladder truck, soon had the worst of the fire knocked down. We don't know yet on the cause of the blaze or the extent of any damage to that historic structure. Chelan and Douglas counties is going to be awarded a combined $1.1 million in grant money, the idea to address housing instability among young people. The Office of Homeless Youth at the Washington State Department of Commerce worked with 60 young people who have experienced homelessness to evaluate applications for funding. It's the second year the office has consulted with the young experts, and more than $40 million was granted to support a wide range of housing interventions for people aged 12 through 24. Hope Source received funding for both Chelan and Douglas counties for transitional housing and support services. The Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council got about $218,000 for rapid rehousing, and the Chelan County Juvenile Center was awarded a 2-year, $527,000 grant. Going to be hot this weekend. A reminder that the Washington State Department of Natural Resources is banning campfires on all lands it manages in its southeast region, and that begins today. The campfire restrictions comes as fire dangers, of course, have reached pretty high levels in the lower Columbia Basin, and they are very high across the rest of their 17-county region. Popular destinations like the Teanaway Community Forest near Cle Elum and the Antonum State Forest west of Yakima, they're a part of it. Visitors to DNR-managed land may still use propane or butane camp stoves and backpacking stoves if you're out and about. DNR says the campfire ban is a critical step to reduce potential wildfire ignition sources while fire dangers continue to remain elevated. And you've probably noticed that the rivers and streams, at least the smaller ones around here, are getting pretty low. And the Washington State Department of Ecology is warning water rights holders that eastern Washington supplies are, in fact, getting low. The agency has issued curtailment notices for water users on the Anaat, Medhow, and Wenatchee rivers, as well as other waterways east of the Cascades. Curtailments mean that some water rights holders have to cease drawing water from those rivers in favor of senior right holders. Most of them, of course, are orchardists. The strategy protects fish populations as well as agricultural interests. About half of Chelan and Kittitas counties are currently listed as being in moderate drought conditions. We haven't had any measurable rain in a long time, and we need it. And that's the news. At 14 minutes after the hour, get your weekend going by being an informed viewer by watching our evening news. With Grant and Eric and Jordan and Jefferson and Malcolm and Tucker and the whole darn team. They know what they're doing. Trust me, they do. The news at 5, 6, and 10 on television, also available on our website, our YouTube page, and on our homepage. You can watch the news whenever you darn well want to. And at the bottom of your screen is how you can get a hold of us any way you damn well want to. Except our phone number. We have regular office hours. If you call the phone number after 5, you're probably not going to get anybody. We're going to be out goofing off. When we come back, Apple Sox, hot, wild, new coach with NHL experience, and the Mariners get back to work today. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the experts at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa. The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
18 minutes after the hour, after 4 days off, 4.5 days off, back to work for Major League Baseball. That includes the Seattle Mariners, Tigers coming into town today. Now the Mariners have been to the back half of the season. They are 45-44. So in order to match their 90-win total of the last couple of years, the Mariners are going to have to go 45-28 the rest of the way. They're going to send Luis Castillo to the mound tonight. He is 6-6, has a 2.85 ERA. He's going to go up against the Tigers' Eduardo Rodriguez, who's 4-5 with a 2.65 ERA. Tonight's game underway at 7:10, T-Mobile Park, and it will be on Root Sports Northwest. All right, the rest of the standings, just a reminder where we are. Texas still a surprise. They had a great first half. They have a 2-game lead over the Astros. Seattle is in third place. They are 6 games back and a game in front of the Angels. Texas, by the way, will host Cleveland tonight. Houston will be in Anaheim, and Oakland will host Minnesota. The Wenatchee Wild have a brand new head coach, and he is a former NHL head coach as they head into the Western Hockey League come fall. Kevin Constantine is spent 7 seasons coaching San Jose, Pittsburgh, and New Jersey. He's been coaching hockey for 40 years. Most recently, he spent the last couple of seasons coaching a professional team in Hungary. Constantine is also familiar with the WHL. He coached the Everett Silvertips for 8 seasons. He'll team up with associate head coach Chris Clark to lead the Wild into their new home for the WHL. According to a press release, by the way, from the Wild, Constantine agreed to a 4-year contract with the Wild. Six in a row for the Wenatchee Apple Sox, 18-1. That is not a misprint. Josh Williams continued to show his strength. The sophomore from UC Santa Clara followed up a 2-homer performance from 2 nights ago with a grand slam last night. But as Joel Norman will tell us, he wasn't the only Wenatchee player to go deep last night.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox earned their 6th consecutive victory and 5th sweep of the summer with an 18-1 victory against the Nanaimo Night Owls on Thursday night at Sir Oxman Stadium. Wenatchee hit a season-best 4 home runs in the game, including a grand slam from Josh Williams in the 8th inning for his 3rd home run in the last 2 days and 3rd of the summer. The other home runs in the game came from Nick Putnam, Frankie Carney, and Izzy Lopez.
2 down, no one aboard. No balls and 2 strikes to the redshirt freshman at UC Santa Barbara. He swings and gets a hold of this one. Out to left field. Nick Putnam launches his 1st home run of the summer. No doubt about that one. And it's 1-0 Apple Sox here in the top of the 2nd inning. An 0-2 pitch hammered over the left field fence for Putnam, as the Apple Sox have now hit 3 home runs in the last 2 days and get this one started with a bang. A 2-out solo shot from Nick Putnam. The 3-1 skied out to deep left field. A long run back, and this one is gone. An opposite field home run for Frankie Carney over the left center field fence. That ball just kept carrying and leaves the ballpark. Wenatchee with its 2nd consecutive game, homering twice. Carney's 1st of the summer, as he's greeted by Putnam, who homered earlier in this game. It's 12-1 Apple Sox here in the top of the 7th inning. Josh Williams again batting with the bases loaded. He is 0 for 2. 0 for 3 with the bases loaded. Swings at this one and wave goodbye to that one, as that one is out of here for the Apple Sox 1st grand slam of the season. Josh Williams with his 3rd home run in the last 2 days, and the Apple Sox 3rd home run of today's game adds to the Wenatchee lead. It's 16-1 Apple Sox with 2 down in the top of the 8th inning. Williams with his 3rd home run in the last 2 days, Wenatchee's 5th of the last 2 days as well. He hammers the first pitch he sees out to left field. This one going back. Heisel watches it go over the wall for a home run. The 4th of the game for the Apple Sox. And another player gets his 1st of the season as Lopez rounds the bases here to make it 17-1 Apple Sox. Izzy Lopez with his 1st of the summer, launching that over the left field fence and making this a 17-1 Apple Sox lead.
Toby Harr went 5 1/3 strong, which is 1 unearned run allowed, as he picked up his team-high 4th victory of the summer. Wenatchee continues the road trip with a 6:35 p.m. game on Friday night as they shift over to the Victoria Harbor Cats and try to take them down, as Wenatchee swept Victoria earlier in the season in mid-June at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
You saw Izzy Lopez hit that moonshot. He went 4 for 4 in last night's game. He had 4 runs and 3 RBIs, and Brandon Ponce bumped his batting average to .306. He went 3 for 6, also scored a run. Joel's call of each of Wenatchee's games this weekend. Check him out. Listen to Joel. He's good. He's on Sunny FM. 6:35 tonight, 6:35 Saturday, 1:05 on Sunday afternoon, and then they head back home for a long, long home stretch here in the Wenatchee Valley. All right, from our friends at Les Schwab, the scoreboard. Another West Coast League play last night. Victoria completed a 3-game sweep of Port Angeles. They won 13-4. Tyler Davis led the way with a 3-run home run. He finished with 5 ribbies on the night. Bellingham holding off Ridgefield. A comeback attempt by Ridgefield. They came back in the 9th to salvage the final game of the 3-game series with the Raptors. Bellingham wins 3-2. Cole Sheenan had a 2-run base hit in the top of the ninth for Ridgefield, but it was thrown out at second base, trying to stretch it into double for the final out. Ouch. Marco Sana's 2-run home run highlighted the 7-run 6th inning for Edmonton. They beat Kamloops 9-5. Jacob Portnick was 3 for 4 for the Riverhawks with a run and an RBI. Luca Diapolo was 3 for 3 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs to lead Bend to a 16-3 win over Cowlitz. Jake Hoskins also had 3 hits for the Elks. Bend had 18 hits in the ball game. Corvallis scored 8 runs in the first 3 innings en route to a 10-6 win over Springfield. Blake Avila paced the Knights. He went 2 for 2 with a couple of runs and an RBI. Evan Cloyd went deep twice. Cooper Witten hit a homer. Portland completes the sweep of Walla Walla at 9-2. The Pickles were able to get 17 position players in the game. They emptied the roster there. And Yakima Valley won yet another non-league game over the Northwest Star Academy. They put up 4 runs in the second and another 4 runs in the 6th, and they walked that one easy. The final was 8-2. All right, the standings. Wenatchee heads to Victoria. This is going to be a big series now. They have a half-game lead over the Harbor Cats in the North second half standings after being swept by the Apple Sox. Nanaimo drops to 3rd place. They're tied with Kelowna, and Edmonton is 3 games back at 3 and 4. 4 classes of open-wheel racing this weekend at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. They'll be practicing on the quarter-mile asphalt track this afternoon at 4:30. The lineup, you got the Speed Tour Sprint cars, the Rockstar Energy B-Mods, the Northwest Focus Midgets, and the West Coast Vintage Racers. They will all try to set track records. It's going to be hot. Gates open tomorrow at 4:30. Racing starts at 6, so they're going to have a party tonight for Thunder in the Valley at the Clearwater in East Wenatchee, starting at 7. That sounds like a good time. And hey, check out these lovely young ladies. Go get them, gals. They're heading in Anaheim this weekend. Coach Ron Stone tells us the Eastmont AAU team taking part in the Grassroots 365 tournament. It is tomorrow and Sunday. There they are: Alana Dickinson, Julia Please, Annalie Wilson, Gazelle Hoven, Kylie Johnson, Parker Johnson, Maisley Loftus, Kinsley Miller, and Ella Ness. Go get them, ladies. Represent the Valley and do it prideful. And with Coach Stone, I think that's not going to be much of an issue. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 26 minutes after the hour. 6 obscure holidays I could have chosen. First of all, happy Bastille Day to all of my French viewers out there. We'll get to that in just a little bit. It is Bastille Day today. It's their equivalency of Independence Day here. It's National Tape Measure Day. It's Pandemonium Day. It's National Mac and Cheese Day. It is National Nude Day. I was born with no clothes on. Today is National French Fry Day. The French fry. We like them. We eat a lot of them. The average American eats about 30 pounds of French fries every year. And of course, French fries aren't from France. They're from Belgium. The folks in Belgium were the ones who came up with the idea of taking a potato and slicing it up like that and putting it in oil and cooking it and then draining it and then eating them. But they got the term French fries because of the doughboys, us, American soldiers stationed in Belgium during World War I, were introduced to the fries that Belgians eat all the time, and the language in Belgium, they speak French. So they called them French fries, even though they originated in Belgium. French fries are a good source of potassium, I think. You think when you fry them in oil, they're probably not a good source of anything. In Mexico, and a lot of restaurants around here, and I highly recommend it, it's good. French fries is served with hot sauce and lime juice. It's good. Try it, you'll like it. And you would think French fries are just French fries. French fries come in 100 different varieties. Who thought? And 7% of all the potatoes grown in this country will meet the same fate. They will become a McDonald's French fry. In fact, 1/3 of all the French fries consumed in this country, 1/3 are McDonald's French fries. Who doesn't like French fries? How many French fries are under the front seat of your car? Happy National French Fry Day today. Ketchup or tartar, doesn't matter to me. 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history, we mentioned it is Bastille Day. The Bastille, it was a fortress. It was medieval. It was built a long time ago. It was a fortress. It was an armory. It was a jail. It was a political prison. On July 14, 1789, The citizens of Paris said, well, this also represents the royal authority of the French monarchy, which we want to get rid of, and so they stormed the Bastille to free the political prisoners and shackle off their royal oppressors. How many political prisoners were in the Bastille? About 7. A couple of janitors and a clerk, I think, were the only people there. There was nobody really in there, but it was more symbolic than anything else. The revolutionaries stormed the Bastille, and the French Revolution is underway. Took them a couple of years, but they did it, and they got rid of the monarchy. They learned from us, I think. Happy Bastille Day, 234 years ago today. It's hard to believe, but for 4 years in this country, it was against the law, against the federal law, to write, publish, or speak false or malicious information about the United States government. It was called the Sedition Act, and it was passed into law on July 14th, 1798. It was a federal crime to badmouth the government. Now it's the national pastime. As you might imagine, this was quite decisive. It had a 3-year expiration date. They let it expire after 3 years. It wasn't brought back up again. It was surely unconstitutional, but nobody bothered to try it. But it made a significant effect in the presidential election of 1802. Thomas Jefferson and his followers were very much against the Sedition Act. It violates the First Amendment of the Constitution. John Adams, the incumbent president, he and his followers were for it. That was a dividing line. TJ was right, John was wrong. They let it expire, it went away. We look back now with incredulity. If I badmouth my government, they can throw me in jail. You could back in 1798. 112 years ago today. Now, if you landed an airplane on the south lawn of the White House today, you would certainly be arrested. You would probably be shot or shot down before you even had a chance. You talk about restricted airspace. The south lawn of the White House is about as restricted as you can get. But in 1912, things were different. And Harry Atwood, who was the main pilot for the Wright brothers, flew an airplane from Boston and landed it on the south lawn of the White House. They didn't arrest him. They didn't shoot him down. They didn't shoot him. Instead, President William Howard Taft gave him a medal. Nice done. Way to land. Here's a medal. How did he take off? That's what I want to know. I mean, landing is one thing. Taking off is something else entirely. Anyway, a plane landed on the south lawn of the White House on this date in 1912. And a war broke out between El Salvador and Honduras. Tensions have been building between these two neighboring countries in South America for quite some time. But what started the war was a World Cup qualifying soccer match between El Salvador and Honduras. I don't know who won. I think Honduras lost, El Salvador won. But it was an ugly match, and the tensions have been boiling up between these two countries for about 20 years, and they went to war. Now, the soccer game wasn't really the cause of the war. It was just the excuse. Honduras was like 5 times the size of El Salvador, but El Salvador had about 5 times more people than Honduras. They were running out of room in El Salvador, so the folks from El Salvador kept moving into Honduras because they had a lot more elbow room. The folks in Honduras didn't much care for that. They eventually went to war. What started it was a soccer match that got ugly in 1969. It was all over in about 10 days. I still don't think they care for each other, though. I'm not sure. I didn't have a chance to do the homework. 33 minutes after the hour, it's all the heavenly birthdays today. A.B. Happy Chandler, the great Kentucky politician, was a United States Senator, was a Kentucky governor for many, many years. But his claim to fame was after Kennesaw Mountain Landis died in 1944, after being the commissioner of baseball for well over 2 decades, and he ran baseball, Landis did, with an iron fist. The owners brought in A.B. Happy Chandler as the new commissioner of baseball, and as long as Kennesaw Mountain Landis was alive and running the game, integration was not going to come to baseball, but Landis was dead. A.B. Happy Chandler got the job in 1945 and very quietly and very discreetly told Branch Rickey, if you want to promote Jackie Robinson to the Dodgers and integrate baseball, I will not stand in your way. And he was from Kentucky. Great man, A.B. Happy Chandler, born in the state in 1898. Woody Guthrie Dust Bowl Ballads is never too far from my turntable, but it's more than that. This land is your land. Roll on, Columbia, of course. Pastures Aplenty, the song The Grand Coulee Dam, Worried Man Blues. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and on merit, I might add. The legendary Woody Guthrie, born in the state in 1912. Listen to the music, folks. And we always do presidents. I just read a biography on Gerald Ford. Just finished it up. He was born in the state in 1913. Of course, he was born Leslie Lynch King. His natural father was a loser. He'd abandoned the family when he was just a baby. He and his mom moved. His mom eventually found a gentleman who she fell in love with by the name of Gerald Ford. He was born Leslie Lynch King. He adopted the name Gerald Ford Jr. after his stepfather, who he loved and who raised him. Gerald R. Ford is the only person to serve as both vice president and president without being elected to either office. He was president for 895 days, which is the shortest presidential tenure of any president who did not die in office. Gerald Ford was the only president who was ever an Eagle Scout, and he may have well been the best athlete among all of our presidents. He was an All-American football player at Michigan, an avid skier, an avid golfer. Gerald R. Ford, a very underappreciated president, was born 110 years ago today. Going to take a break. Mike McNally's got an opinion. And speaking to somebody who's 110, Dave Tosh is not 100. I love Dave. I tease Dave. I love Dave. He's one of my favorite people. Dave Tosh is the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. You want a cheap, healthy, nutritious lunch? Dave will tell you all about it when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
You even remember to water the house plants. I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Motion e-bikes is rolling out its new line of Aventon e-bikes. Come in today and save $300 on the top-selling Aventon Adventure. Motion is Central Washington's home for affordable e-bikes, located in the Mills Brothers building in downtown Wenatchee.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. We're switching from the cold of winter to the heat of summer. That can put a lot of stress in your HVAC unit.
Yeah, it really can, Dan. I would recommend that you get a maintenance. It can catch any potential problems that you might have during the peak of summer. And it's just a good idea to do on all season changes.
Great idea. Good advice. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Mad Dog McNulty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, my grandson Alan asked me recently, he asked me this question. He said, how do you define success? Well, and I told him that I wanted to be a good husband and father and grandfather. I said I wanted my friends to consider me a worthwhile and dependable buddy. And I wanted at least one person in my life to say I helped them to be a better person. Now, Alan said, well, that was interesting. He said, it was interesting that I hadn't mentioned anything material like a big house or a fancy car. And I said that those things were okay, there's nothing wrong with them, but the relationships that we have in our life, that's what makes life meaningful and brings fulfillment. Now, what I didn't tell Alan is that I'm going to depend on his financial acumen to support me in my dotage. Well, that bit of info can wait. This is Mike, Mad Dog McNulty, and that's my opinion.
Lean back and enjoy the summer savings at Boswell's. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on any qualifying stressless seating. The more you spend, the more you can save instantly. So furnish an entire room with the most comfortable seating in the world and watch the savings add up. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere, so when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now, or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Welcome back to the program. I swear, like a year ago, I deleted Dave Tosh's contact from my cell phone number. So imagine my surprise a couple of weeks ago when I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. Hey, Dan, we got some great things going on down here. Come on down and pay us a visit. We'd love to have you back. And I said, sure. And then I realized like 2 minutes later, it was Dave Tosh. So here I am. It's my buddy Dave Tosh, the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activities Center. It's been a long time, my friend.
It has, and you know, we've been open, well, about a year now, a little over a year. The lunch program opened up, and we got some other things open. The thrift store had been opened all along, pretty much. We had only closed for a couple months during COVID, but COVID had a significant impact on seniors, the population we serve.
More than almost any other demographic, the senior citizen population was greatly affected by COVID.
And a lot of people have changed their habits, their routines, so many things, and we're trying to make adjustments as we go to suit their needs and give them a good service and a good lunch.
Let's start with the gift shop. Last time we visited you was over the holidays when you had your big wing day, and that's always a huge event for this organization.
One of our biggest fundraisers of the year is our holiday gift fair, usually right around Veterans Day. It's always on a Saturday, a one-day event, and that'll be coming up again. We just had a great fundraiser, our crab feed. We hadn't had a crab feed in 4 years. Crab was excellent. Everybody raved about how much fun it was and how great the food was.
And affordable.
And so we're going to be doing 2 of those next year, just because of the success. So there are things that are really working well for us. Obviously, being independent and self-sustaining, we got to figure it out on our own as to where all our resources come from. But between the store and some of those fundraising events that we're doing, we're getting back to some sense of normal.
But being an independent, self-sustaining organization also has its advantages. Not a lot of people above you pulling strings telling you what you can and can't do from a governmental standpoint.
I've been here for 10 years.
Right. I mean, there's some good advantages to that.
Absolutely. Right. No, it is. And it's just that, we weren't anticipating something like a COVID event to really affect us like it did. And we're still trying to make adjustments. And the lunch program is a great example of what we're trying to do, and we just made some significant changes.
And before we get to that, one more little shout out to our buddy Russ Allman. You brought him on board last week. He's going to be handling your website, your social media. He knows what he's doing. He's a good guy, which is great, because I have a feeling I don't want to cast aspersions on you, Dave, but you probably still have an 8-track player in your 1973 AMC Matador, so you and social media probably isn't the best setup there. So you brought in somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and of course Russ have been doing those videos that everybody in town can watch those videos on NCW Life that we took over the last 3 or 4 years. Russ did all that. He edited all of that material, and you'll see a lot of repeats and replays, but that was one of the ways we stayed in touch with the senior community while we were closed, and also just telling people what it is we do here. A lot of people still aren't sure what we do here.
Well, one thing that they do here is they serve lunch, and it's open to anybody who has $5 sitting around in their pocket. Talk about this, $5.
Yeah.
What's this all about, Dave? Have you lost your mind?
Well,
what's happening here?
We again are making adjustments to what we started with a year ago. We came up with a $7 lunch, and our concern was the cost of food going up a lot. Things have calmed down a little bit with regard to that, and we feel like $5 is a great deal. It'll get more people out here. It's like everything else, volume helps, and the more people we get out here to lunch is going to help us in the long run. The $5 is a great price. It's a round number. Everybody can remember that. And we're going to have desserts. We've got an AmeriCorps young lady that's going to be doing desserts for us.
That's new. You didn't have lunch. You didn't have dessert for lunch before.
Right. We're adding that, and we're going to have a lot of fresh salad and fresh vegetables. We're going to do a lot more of that. Obviously, the summertime helps with that, but now's the time to try out some new ideas and just see if we can't get the lunch back to the way we had it before.
The only catch is you got to RSVP in advance. That's so they need to know how much food to make, and that's critically important.
Yep. Well, we asked that the day before by 1 o'clock, so we get our numbers straight for the next day. But there are alternatives. You can come out if you're coming here regularly. We'll give you a copy of our menu for the month. You circle the days you want to come. You put your name on it. We make a copy so you can take it home and keep track of what you told us. We ask that you try and cancel if you can't make it a particular day. But that's the easiest way. Then you got a reservation in the system for a month, and you don't have to really think about making a reservation. I know some people say, well, I don't come to lunch because I can never remember to make a reservation. Well, okay, but we still need to know what our head counts are.
Sure.
Otherwise, we have a lot of waste, and we try to manage that. So.
It's all on the website, by the way, too, I might add, including the menu. It's Thursday as we tape this, so it's meatloaf day today. Tomorrow is pizza, I believe.
Yep.
So you're pretty consistent with that.
Yeah. And they can make a reservation on the website now. Russ Albin, again, is a key part of getting technology embedded in some of our systems here. We're dealing with more baby boomers who are more familiar with the technology than it was 10 years ago. And we're trying to make sure that we utilize devices and tools that people can make their life a little simpler.
And we can't stress this enough, it's open to anybody. You don't have to be a member of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. You don't have to have a membership card. You don't have to do anything. Just RSVP and show up with your $5 and it's lunch. Yeah. And it's a good lunch too, by the way.
Yeah, and it's a well-balanced meal. We serve everything that supplies a nutritious meal. A lot of people come here just because that's their main meal of the day, and then they don't have to do so much in the evening. And that makes sense for a lot of seniors.
And as you might imagine, it's a bit of a social activity, as you can see and hear behind us. A lot of people are regulars, of course. They come on a regular basis. And other people come in for a couple of times. Hey, that's Mr. Jones, and that's Bob Smith, and that's Janet.
The social aspect is huge with our lunch program. It always has been. And it's not that people need to come here because they're in need of a meal, although we welcome whoever wants to come in. I would just say that the social part of it is a big deal. And so a lot of people will come in, they haven't been in here ever, and they'll see people that they know, and they sit down and they renew acquaintances and have a good time. And that's what we're trying to promote that. And then, you can stay afterwards and exercise and work that meal off too. So
that's true.
We have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, talk about some of the programs, because that, again, during COVID, this place was eventually shuttered. In fact, I remember coming in here when it was during COVID and it was all closed down. I was depressing as hell. The blinds were drawn, the furniture was stacked up. The programs are back, all the different things that people can do.
And what we're seeing is a lot of interest in exercise. And we offer 5 different sale programs in any one week. That's Stay Active and Independent for Life. There's a lot of those conducted in our valley.
And again, those are televised on the NCW Life channel.
And we've got those broadcast. We have line dancing Monday and Friday mornings. That's been a huge success. We still have more room, though. I mean, I know the word kind of got out there that we were crowded and over capacity and all that. We're managing that, so don't hesitate to come out and check us out. And you can just sit and watch them. You don't have to participate. You can kind of figure out and gauge what it is you're interested in and then participate. But Tai Chi, yoga, we have some strength training yoga. And then, of course, we have our weekend dances, and there's exercise involved with that, and it's live music every other Sunday. And they can find all the information in our newsletter, which you will receive if you're a member, $35 a person a year, $55 for a couple. You get a newsletter in the mail, or check us out on the website.
Why do you charge so less? I mean, it's not very much to become a member here. I mean, if you could jack up your membership prices. I don't think too many people complain.
Well, that's a Dave Tosh thing that we kind of like keeping things the way they are and the way they've been, and we do tend to get a little pushback when we make changes in pricing, and I think it's just a good deal for people to realize that, you know what, I can go there and it doesn't wreck my budget, and we want people to come. We want people to come in and enjoy what we offer with our activities. And
every time I come see Dave, Dave is almost 65. He's almost retirement age now, and he goes, I don't know, I think maybe another year. He's past retirement age, and every year you're still here. You obviously you don't have to work anymore, Dave.
Well, I'm probably kind of like the Kuntz family. I grew up in the Valley. This is my family. The Valley, I know so many people. Growing up in Kashmir, it's unbelievable how many people I've crossed paths with that I hadn't seen in years. And it makes it fun for me that way, and that's why I'm still here, is because I still think I'm having fun. My staff may not think so sometimes. We do have a lot of challenges. We're very busy, but you know what? It's a great place, and I feel good about what we do and what we offer.
Dave eats a lot of cold lunches here, and by that I mean he goes into the cafeteria, Jay gives him his lunch, and he puts it down, and then Dave makes the rounds and by the time he's visiting with people, his lunch is cold and you're eating it at your desk. You probably do that on a regular basis.
Well, we're having meatloaf today. You know, cold meatloaf on a slice of bread's pretty good. So, you know, I'm not real picky about all that. But
how do people help you out, Dave, before we cut you loose, besides come down here and have lunch? Is lunch 5 days a week, or is it 4 days?
Actually, we're at Tuesday through Friday. It's 4 days a week.
No lunch on Monday.
We serve right at noon, and we ask that people arrive here promptly so we can cut our volunteers a break. Jay, you mentioned Jay Young. He has to wash the dishes. We try to get him home in a reasonable hour, and that's why we have a set time. And then, of course, the exercise folks start coming in. We don't push people out of here, though. If people want to linger and visit with their friends, that's perfectly fine. And don't think that we're going to throw anybody out of here because you've been here too long. That's part of what we offer. There's a social engagement. Yeah. So we do need volunteers all the time. That's another way people can help. If you're interested in volunteering, give us a call. Come out, talk to us, pick up an application, volunteer application. We'll get back to you. But we've had a lot of success with some really good volunteers right after we reopened last year. I think people want to get out and do things, get out of the house, and that's one way you can really help us. Yeah.
And you'll make a whole bunch of new friends, I can guarantee you that, because nobody behind us is frowning. For one thing, it's lunchtime. Dave Tosh, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. New website, too. I like it. I like what Russ has done. Very accessible. Good for folks. Very easy.
WenatcheeSeniorCenter.com.
It's as simple as that. Dave, it's good to see us. What do you say we go have some lunch?
Yeah, let's go have lunch.
Let's go have lunch.
All right.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
Experience memories that will last forever on a Sun Chaser pontoon boat from Bob File Boats and Motors. If you're looking to get out fishing with your buddies or just enjoying time on the water with friends, a Sun Chaser pontoon boat is a great choice. Owning a Sun Chaser is more than just an incredible feeling of freedom and exhilaration. It's about taking that indulgence to the next level. See the full line of Sun Chaser pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
72 degrees here in the big city, on our way to mid-90s anyway today. Going to be a warm one, 89 yesterday. We're going to be close to 100 on Saturday. Couple of degrees cooler on Sunday, and then a big cool down on Monday. We'll get to that in just a little bit. We have a minute or two, and it's almost the weekend, so let's do our tour around the valley one more time, just real quick, see what we have here. Again, our Wenatchee Heights camera does the honors, and that is a super handy camera to have. It's just a great tool, and it is a tool, not a toy. I have to remind myself of that. Where else do we want to go see? I don't know if Uriah switched them out. Oh, he has. Okay, I don't know what cameras he's using. Oh boy. Well, that's obvious. That's That's, by looking at the Peace Arch, that's got to be St. Louis. Well, down there. Oh, that's Ephrata. Sorry, Uriah. Camera number 3 is Kansas City, Missouri, right there. Beautiful view. Nope, I'm sorry. That's the Cougar Ridge camera, I'm being told now. And the roundabout. There you go. Camera 3. That is Detroit. Help me out. Oh, that's maybe Upper Butte. I think that's Lake Chelan, actually. I'm really not good at guessing these right now. and do we have a 4th camera, or was that it? Was that all 3 of them? That's it. Okay. Let's talk about fire weather real quick. It's going to get hot. It's going to remain dry. Relative humidity is going to be bone dry. And the wind will be picking up on Monday. Now, we're going to have a big cool down. We're going to be about 97 on Sunday and in the lower 80s on Monday. And there will be some wind associated with the big cool down as a cold front comes in. It's not going to stick around very long, but Sunday and Monday, be minding your P's and Q's if you're out and about. And finally, the forecast. 94 today, sunny and hot, very light wind. 98 Saturday, 96 on Sunday. The wind won't be picking up until about sunset Sunday. Big cool down on Monday, and then we warm right back up again. It is, after all, July. And don't forget, we have a heat advisory for Saturday and a fire weather watch for Sunday and Monday. And that's it for us. Have yourself a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Greetings, North Central Washington. Welcome, everyone, to another thrilling episode of Networked. I'm your host, David Mabey, the Marketing Director for the NCW Tech Alliance, and I'm stepping in for our regular host, Jenny, who's currently out of town, but you know what? I'm going to do my best to fill in for today. Today, we've got an exceptionally creative guest with a fascinating journey. Joining us today is the talented Meg Kapler, the Executive Director of the NCW Arts Alliance. From her roots in Ephrata, Washington, Meg's career path has been as diverse as a vibrant and has a carefully curated palette. She began her journey in the performing arts world, equipped with her BAF in the theater arts from Pacific Lutheran University. Her early